That was yesterday. The IMF at Davos, Switzerland said the world economy is going to hit the biggest financial headwind. Says World War II, what does that mean? That's what I'm going to talk about. But more importantly, what can you do that we talk about? It is what you know when you think about what are your assets today. If you're hanging out with idiots, you're probably an idiot. Sees this as very important. Because the game these financial planners play is they only show you charts going back to 1981, and this is when Paul Volcker raised rates. So since then, we've been in a down cycle in interest rates, and sure you can say the stock market always goes up, right? If interest rates are always going down, but what happens when interest rates start going back up? Usually the cycle is about 30 to 40 years. So if you look at charts of the stock market going back to 1927, 1980, or 81 adjusted for inflation, it was pretty much flat, but see, they don't tell you. That's right, they just cherry-pick the data, of course. They want to give it to you in order for them to collect their fees, but something even worse happening as the last. The crash was, let's say, 2008 when the repo market reversed and all this stuff. And most of these financial planners and real estate brokers, all they know is a rising market. Yeah, that's right, since 2008, we've been nothing and happy days are here again. Because they kept dropping interest rates, real estate went up, stock market went up, bond markets went up. Yeah, the problem with that is that the bull goes up the stairs, yeah, the bear comes out the window. When it comes in 4 months, that's how fast this bear is going to go out the window. So no, it'll never go down and going ever the moment I hear that. I know it's going down, yeah, and there's always Jim Rogers. I think articulated it beautifully. You just got to buy panic and sell hysteria, and sometimes you can tell when there's that hysteria that the problem with bull markets is mixed, stupid people look smart, yeah, and the saying is the bull goes up the stairs, bear goes out the window. And when it comes down fast. My question is though, I think people are committing suicide. This is déjà vu all over again. It goes in 1929, the saying watched out for falling bankers is they're coming out of the window. Killing people in the street below, yeah. But at the end of the day, who do you blame? The fade. It's the FED, because this is all just pushing people out to the risk curve, so the whole thing here is get smarter. That's what we're talking about, at least hang around smart people. I mean, oh my God, it's gonna be. We're gonna make so much money. Because we have carbon credits, and we have biotech coming online, and all this there's more opportunity today, but not if you hang out with idiots. I do think there are incredible opportunities, but I think it would come in pretty much the opposite arena. And that's just old school commodities. I think relying on a long-term supercycle, absolutely. I think you're going to see prices of things like coal, uranium, and I think the overarching theme and pretty much everything that you've said for the last 30 or 40 years is, if you're going into an investment and everyone else is doing it, and that's what they're teaching you in school, you're probably not going to make money, you're probably going to lose money. But if you're going into an investment, and every single person is telling you, Robert, you're crazy, what are you talking to me? You're absolutely out of your mind. Don't do that. Those are the investments where you've made the most money, and it's been the exact same thing. Like we have no stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, because my rich dad taught me differently. So today, like I was saying, and I said this all the time, we own oil wells, we own oil companies, we don't own stocks. So again, when Biden cut the XL pipeline off, went from 30 to 130. Holy mackerel, we're making so much money today. The dangerous thing is people are being wiped out, inflation's killing them further, and fuel, that's right. That's what scares me. Yeah, but any intervention they have in a free market economy, it's always going to make things worse for the poor and middle class, whether it's through the insidious invisible tax of inflation or whether it's just propping up assets that are creating these bubbles where people get completely wiped out. And misallocation of resources and malinvestment. I mean, we've got to understand that central planning, or Marxism, as you always say, is a very, very slippery slope. This is the road to ruin, whereas Jim Rogers says this is the quick path to the poorhouse. We need to understand that free market capitalism is not perfect, but it's the best system. We have to raise the standard of living for the poor and middle class, and we're going so Marxist. That's why so many kids, if I go to college, I'll be fine this week got taught Marxism. You know they talk about tax direction, all these are the things they teach. But they think that's frightening today, is what Claude Schwab is saying someday. You'll own nothing, and you'll be happy, right? That's the abolition of private property, which has Marx. And that's what they're teaching absolutely, and the crazy thing is they're trying to use inflation as a reason to tax the rich, and it's just completely perverse, because the way you solve consumer price inflation is like, we're saying by producing more stuff, and if you're taxing all the people that are producing, are we going to have less stuff in the future? We're going to do more stuff, as you said, the money just moves. Yeah, right, we move to where we're treated the best, yeah, and inflation is the worst tax of all, and it just causes more people. As we're going to shift to UB Universal Basic Algorithm and MMT, which is Marxism someday, you'll own nothing, and you'll be happy the government will give you your money. I really want to beat this dead horse because I think it's important. We are experiencing global consumer price inflation, right? Not just in that this is a huge problem and global crisis since World War II. Yeah, absolutely, and their solution is to do what you buy, give people more money, and let's restrict the supply of goods and services even further by making it harder for the producers to actually produce. Digital currency and them trying to ban cash, and I think that's why so many young people are in crypto. They know something's wrong, they just don't have the big macro picture of it, and they get caught up in all these swings. So you were talking about central bank digital currency. What does that mean? To you, George, well, a central bank digital currency simply means that all the average Joes and Jeans in society, including the businesses and corporations, now have an account with the central bank. In our case, it would be the Federal Reserve. Well, isn't that Marxism central banking? It's absolutely 100 central planning, because what happens now is the banking system is in charge of creating most of the new money now. It's a little bit different with these deficits and quantitative easing whatnot. But usually it's the banking system. So if they keep that loan on thereabout, if the bank continue to own. Yeah, because you can't compete otherwise, yeah, which brings the standard of living for the poor and middle class, yes, but they're teaching Marxism in school. That whole thing is so backwards, run by school teachers. Oh my God, so if we move into the system with the central bank digital currency, then all the bank accounts go to the Fed, and then the FA determines who gets the loan and why. And the big key there is the Fed doesn't have a profit and loss. They can lose money, so where a bank has to lend productively. The Fed can lend in a way that isn't productive. They can lend to whomever they want. They don't have to worry about being paid back. So that's centrally controlled money supply debt creation. And that, to your point, is Marxism. But it's also have massive control. It's Orwell's Big Brother is watching. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to my channel before you go.